morning. 좋은 아침이에요. Hi everyone. Sorry I'm late. Sorry. 죄송합니다. Sorry. Today I'm so tired. It's so dry. 잠깐만요. I got a really bad cold sore on my lips, so I tried to sleep a lot, but 아파. It's so painful. You guys see? 보이나? 너무 아파. Nothing? Okay. Hi everyone! I got this. 이거 이쁘지 않아? Don't you guys like this? 이거 이쁘죠? Hi Sama. Oh, it's okay. I have pink top underneath. Need close up maybe? 진짜? 오늘 진짜 졸려. I'm really tired. Oh, do you guys like my painting? My room is becoming a bit girly nowadays. But that being said, at the same time, I'm also tired. 너무 졸려. Yesterday, it was such a bad idea that I drank. 어제 술 마신 게 너무 타격이 컸어요. Oh, that's true. We have to auction this, guys. auction해야 돼. Also, guys, I put it on top of this. I can see patch, but not cold sore. It is cold sore. So, yeah. So I ended up. 진짜. I ended up sleeping on the way. First one, I should keep it. We can go painting again then. 또 painting 가야 되겠다. I have to continue to make my stuff. 계속 까먹어요. 좀 잠 부족이네. 진짜 피곤한데? 오늘 왜 이렇게 피곤하지? Maybe today I might do short stream. It's so tiring. Cause grandma is too. I don't want to say grandma is too tiring. That sounds a bit mean, but it was very tiring. Especially because grandma wanted to stay there and do other stuff. So, 너무 피곤해. Right now, I'm half asleep. I can't sleep. I need sleep. I want to sleep. I want to say I just want more sleep. I didn't tell her directly. But she kept, yeah. But it was grandma's. Anything fun I want to talk about yesterday? I got scammed by. The thing about caretakers, obviously it depends on the person, but sometimes there's so many random caretakers that's not, doing their best. So, yeah, Yeah, yesterday I got scammed by a taxi. It was shocking. So I guess there's two different ways to go to the hospital because it was 30 minutes away, 40 minutes away from my grandma's. And one of the method was to go through downtown, like go through traffic, and then the other way was to kind of go under bridge etc, and the navigation said to go under the bridge, like there or like go through this tunnel. So there's a route where you go through the tunnel, or there's a route where you go around to and get all the traffic, like where you go around towards more like towards the downtown area. And right before he could have made a turn to the tunnel, he suddenly says last minute, he goes, "Oh, because there's lots of cars over there, we're gonna go downtown." And before I could even say anything, he already passed by that area and he just went on. And I was so mad. I was like, what? Because when you get taxi from Kakao, I think they're trained to go through using the navigation. Because that was a big issue with taxis in Korea before, was that if they think that you don't know the place, they try to scam you by going around. Because if you go around, it adds in miles, so you get like 10 to like 30-40 cents more, even sometimes to like $1 or $2. But usually when I take my grandma to places with taxi, I usually tip them. Normally if it's just me, I don't tip. But because it's my grandma, and getting my grandma on a taxi is like the hardest thing, I usually tip them because they either are so polite, like they say, "Oh, like take your time," or like, you know, they're very polite sometimes. But this guy was just such an a-hole, to a point where my grandma was like, "I think we're going around, like why didn't you go through the other route?" And he was just like, "Oh, like there was lots of cars, blah blah blah." And my grandma got so mad. She goes, "Dude, we're stopping by every freaking red light." And he just completely ignored us. So in the end, I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna tip you. Like, you know, it's like, there's a reason why I like to tip people, because, you know, they put in extra effort. Like, they go beyond what they're supposed to do to help. And that's something that I always feel like thankful for, especially when I'm taking my grandma. But this guy was just, ugh. No, you don't have to tip inside a car in Korea, but I did because I'm taking my grandma to places. And to take an old lady, she's turning 90 soon, but to take her to a taxi in Seoul is just so crazy. Like, it takes forever to get her inside a taxi. She has, like, she can walk, but she can't walk fast, and she is a bit, like, you know, she's a bit overweight. So maybe not the word overweight, but she's a bit chubby. So getting her, like, I have to put her butt on the seat first, and then I have to put her legs up. Never. Yeah. So it's always like extra energy I have to, you know, spend to my grandma, which isn't a bad thing, but it does take a bit of energy to, you know, get her inside the taxi. And there are really nice taxi drivers where they go like, take your time, like who cares about the cars behind you, like you getting on safely is more important. Or they try to have like nice fun conversation with my grandma. Then I feel so thankful, because trying to talk to a grandma who's like 90, we have like 2 generation gap, there's nothing we can talk about. And she keeps saying the same thing over and over again, and then she keeps talking about like my past, and then she keeps talking about my dad and my mom, and it's just kind of like at one point be like, "Grandma, can we just go without you talking?" You know, I can't say that to her face. So sometimes the taxi driver, because they're like also sometimes like 60-70-year-old, my grandma starts bringing up conversation about like, "Oh, like how old are you?" Like, I don't even know. She keeps asking about like their age. And sometimes I think she phrases it in a weird way, but she just wanted to say like it's great that you're working hard even if you're at like a late age. But you know, she phrases it a bit weird. So what ends up happening is I'm just like, Grandma, I feel like you're crossing the line at some point, so then I feel bad. It's like I feel like she could be rude, but she has that like age being like, I'm 90, like I can say whatever I want kind of attitude. She doesn't, but you know, for me, I just don't want to cause any, you know, so yeah, I wish she would be flirting with them, but I doubt it. She just kind of goes like, oh, like how old are, like you seem like you're 60, 70, you must have taken your kids, and then she starts bragging about her kids, and then it comes to Jinri being like, oh, and then this is my, what is it, like my Monya granddaughter, and then blah blah blah. So yeah, that's why whenever I got to, like the moment I got to her house, I was like, Grandma, I have a meeting at 7 and I have to rush out. I can't spend more time. She just keeps talking on and on about this and that, and you're just kind of like, okay, Grandma, you said this over and over again. You know, like, try not to be rude, but I'm at this point where I haven't slept for a very long time. Or yesterday, I have no clue when I went. I got home around 6, so I was out 1, came home 6. I had coffee, and I was still dying. I actually took a nap right after I got my coffee. I was still tired. And then I did some editing. I haven't played Lost Ark in so long. Because I actually don't have anything in queue for my Jinri TV, my vlog YouTube, so I had to quickly edit some things. You know, I've got the golf one out, blah blah blah. And then I think I went to bed around like 12 or 1. And then I woke up at 7 because I just couldn't sleep since I'm still in pain. My muscle is still sore. I think it wasn't a good idea to go to my golf lesson right after I played golf. So it was disgusting. But other than that, I'm still alive. I made it to stream. We're here to talk about stock. I don't know if I could talk for a long time, but I'll try my best. It's interesting. Talking is interesting. And then yeah, let's move on. I didn't have much to say about my field trip with Grandma. Other than it was just so tiring, and I would like a nice nap. 돌려. 아. 행하다고요? 너무 피곤해요. 너무 피곤해. 아, 솔직히 오늘 방종을 하고 그냥 잘까까지 생각을 했었다가 안 돼, 나 저번 주도 많이 쉬고 저저번 주도 많이 쉬고 요즘 많이 쉬고 있어가지고 콘텐츠가 꼽아야 돼서 이번 주도 많이 쉴 것 같아서. 왜냐면은 원래 금요일날 방송을 하는데 한국 시간으로 제가 그날 약속이 있고 내일은 이제 몇 달 만에 미아님이 데이트를 하자라는 말이 나와서 방송을 쉬고 데이트하러 갔다 오려고. 저희 기념일이라서. Tomorrow is a special day with Mian and I, so 어디 가냐고요? 철판 요리 먹는데. 철판 요리 한 번도 안 먹어봤거든요. 그래서 브이로그 찍으려고요. So I will film my vlog. I wanted to stream, but decided not to. Screw that. So we're gonna get. I'll try to at least vlog it. So. 아저씨 손님 어서오세요. 야, 히바치 is 철판 요리. 오케이 guys, 할 수 있다. 가자. 우와. 정말 하기 싫어. 우측 상단이요? 아, 네, 맞아요. 이제 바꾸려고요. 왜 바꾸려고 하냐면 저희 언니들한테 혼났어요. 아, 에이미 언니도 이제 DSLR로 바꿀 생각이 든대 요즘은. 지금 뭐지? 좀 아는 분들도 계시고 하니까 그래가지고 이제 좀 아유 바꿨으면 좋겠다라고 이렇게 긍정적으로 얘기하고 이제 여기저기 알아보고 있어요. 근데 아마 그냥 싼 거부터 시작하고 부족하면은 장비 추가하고 막 하는 거지 뭐. 아니 그래서 원래 저는 아저씨 손님이 잘하신다 해가지고 하려고 부탁드리려고 했거든요. 근데 이게 공대라서 문제야. 공대니까 사람들이 야 그냥 네가 해. 그래서 지금 제가 하게 생겼어요. 나 진짜 우리 투수 너무 현실적인 거 아니야? 남들은 너 공주처럼 열심히 살아라 이렇게 이런 애티튜드인데 왜 나는 너 공대니까 네가 혼자 할 수 있잖아 이런 식으로 말을 해. Guys, wait, can I just say one thing before we move on to stock? Oh my god, yesterday with programming stream, we talked about how programmers always get the question, can you fix my computer for me as a programmer? You guys are doing the same thing. Just because I'm an engineer, I have no clue how to set up an epic DSLR, guys. Just wanted to point that out. We talked about it, saying not engineers can't do anything, but now that I think about it, when I was trying to explain to the AJS, because he did the lighting and camera work for Sora and Barry. So I was gonna ask him, but no, because I'm an engineer, you guys want me to do it, right? So I'll try, and then if it doesn't work, then I'm gonna be like, screw you guys. So anyways, that was my little spiel. Let's do stock news for today. We'll talk about a bit of stock news. That's true. I'm not gonna go against it because trying is content. I don't know how I'm gonna film it, but I will try my best. 혼자 하기에는 편한 카메라는 캐논이냐고? 맞아요. 그래서 캐논으로 하려고요. 그 쿠팡에 76만원짜리 있거든요. 그거부터 사래요. M200 세트로. 그래서 그거 하고 부족하면 뭐씨 그거 하고 76만원이었던 것 같은데? 그래가지고 내가 4만원은 팁 달라고 했어. 그러니까 여러분 현질 좀 해주세요. 여러분 나 좀 도와줘. Guys, help me with my DSLR. 영어 왜 이렇게 잘하냐고요? 감사합니다. 저 사실 미국인이에요. 오히려 저는 반대로 얘기해줘야 돼요. 한국어 왜 이렇게 잘하세요? 라고. 초등학교 때부터 계속 미국에 살아와가지고 사실은 한국어가 어눌한데 요즘 방송에서 한국분들이 가끔 오시더라고요. 그래가지고 이제 한국어도 좀 나아졌어요. 많이 나아졌어. 예전에는 이렇게도 말 못하고 정말 천천히 말했거든요. 근데 요즘은 조금 나아진 것 같아. Let's move on. 진짜 쌉인정. 나 진짜 한국어 못했어요. 먼들 렌즈만 있는 건가? 네, 그런 것 같은데. 빨리 그러니까 내 투수한테 혼내라고. 내가 어제 막 wait guys, I had to 디콜 와서 알아서 따로 얘기해요. 나 지금 오늘 콘텐츠 해야 되니까. So guys, today is stock news from 언제니? 우리 last week was 24th, March 24th to March 31st. 30th. 24, 3, 3, 1. We're gonna pretend, guys. Can you guys pretend that today, right now, it's March 31st? 씨, 뭐야, 영어 잘하시네요. 에이, $30, $30. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. 예. 자, 제가요. 원래 내가 진짜 그놈의 DSLR이 문제인 게 뭐냐면 진짜 여러분 진짜 guys 이거 수동이에요. 자동 아니라 제가 직접 쓰는 거라서 one thing okay. Back in my days, 라떼는 말이야. Latte is horse. Back in my days, guys. Streamers would only stream with just what is this? Logitech camera. They didn't use DSLR or some type of mirrorless, whatchamacallit, super fancy thingamabob webcam, thank you. But now technology has evolved. Why? Why did technology evolve? So people like me who's, you know, moneyless has to upgrade the item. 아, 진짜. 테크가 발전해가지고. And you know what sucks about upgrading? Then I have to work hard on my makeup. Like, apparently if you get a very fancy camera, your makeup skills are going to have to increase. Wow. So that's why I'm taking lesson from Seon next week. 미치겠어. 모공뿐만 아니라 막 눈썹도 제대로 잘 정리를 해야 되고 눈도 화장도 막 반짝이도 다 보이고 막 뭐 머리도 이뻐야 되고 막 조만간 내 머리 냄새도 맡게 생겼어. Sooner or later, it'll be able to. You guys will able to even smell me, guys. Not just see me with like high quality camera, but even smell me. This is going towards the packaging. Thanks for the packaging. 얘는 또 뭔데요? 난리 났네. $8.90? 아씨, wait, 잠깐만. 계산기. $8.90 plus $4.50. 아씨, 나 침 흘렸어. 아! 오고구. I'm in Korea right now. 9.59. 그래, 좋았어. 잠깐만. Oh, my money dropped! Guys! We're starting all over! Is this scam? If I leave it like this, will you get mad? 날라갔어요! That's so crazy. 뭔데 얘는 또? 이거 몰라요. 여기 어디예요?
얌전히 쭉 붙어있어. 지금 본인하고 사투 중.
Did you also miss the other dono? Oh, it's right here. Scam? I like scamming.
여기 지금 본인하고 지금 사투.
당근! 누구 당근 시켰나봐. I have no clue. Okay, guys, anyways, let's move on. Stop bothering me. I'm doing my content. 여러분 오늘 컨텐츠 해야 돼요. So many news. Guys, so how's stock market? 내 주식도 좀 봐야 되겠다. I haven't seen my stock in so long. 아, really? 잘 됐네. Don't look at Lucid? 아씨. 아이, 그 존버야. Lucid is 존버. 루시는 봐야 되겠다, 진짜. 나 진짜 안 오르네. 맞다, F. 아씨. 니오? 니오는 왜? 와, whoever bought it at 13. 오. So what industry overall's doing good? Apple too? Is your main streaming content stock? My main streaming is stock, business, and programming. And then I do a lot of like cute stuff nearby, around. 그러니까 제가 이것저것 막 해요. 많이 해요. 그래가지고 유튜브 채널도 막 3개 있고 그냥 미친 짓 하고 있거든요. 근데 네, 춤도 추고 주식도 보고 회사도 공부하고 기타 등등등 이런 것들 많이 하고 있어가지고 저희는 이제 날짜별로 나눠져 있어요. 월요일 날은 그러니까 한국 시간으로 월요일 날 미국 시간으로 월요일 날은 코딩하고 화요일 날은 원래 화요일 날은 딴 거 하는데 오늘 제가 내일 바빠가지고 오늘 주식을 바꿨거든요. 근데 뭐 기타 등등. 그래서 디코로 오면은 조금 더 스케줄이 자세히 써 있어요. TSLA, Tesla is doing good. They're probably gonna do a stock split. Oh, I'll buy then. Wait, what happened to Google split? Now that I think about it, hey, how are you doing? split 하지 않았어? Is this when it split? Apple is up by 6%, really? Oh. Good morning, I see your art in the background. Hi, sliced bread. Yeah, isn't it pretty? It's gonna be either there or there. 네, I'll be back, guys. 잠깐만요. I have to 빨리 돌려. 힘내자 힘! 에너지! We can do it! 아, Google Split is mid-July? 아, 난 예시야? 오케이. 우와! 또! Apple's doing good. Apple은 왜? I saw Apple news yesterday. Apple 뭐 있던데, yesterday에. 와, 뭐야, Apple? 갑자기? Suddenly? Why? All of a sudden? 왜? 난 참 애플 싫어. I don't know why, but I really don't like Apple. Okay. Anyways, let's start reading the news. I guess we already have one from news. Apple news. But if there's anything that's interesting in terms of fun news that you think it's worth people knowing, please tell me and then we'll make it into a YouTube video. So I'll kind of like skim through it, and then if I'm interested, I'll like, talk about it. Also, can I just say one thing about my job is this. 제 직업 이거예요. I don't have a job. I quit my job. Thanks, Jolly, for putting it in a nice way, but I quit my job and I'm doing a startup. 스타트업 지금 하고 있는데 잘 안 되고 있어서 방송이랑 스타트업 하고 있습니다. Okay, guys. Let's read some news. It seems Apple and Tesla has good news, so maybe they're worth putting it up on the internet. So, yeah, that's true. I know, Jolly, but it's kind of cringy. And then I guess there's news about Pentagon that Phantom just uploaded. So we'll start from that. And then okay, let's start. CEO and founder sounds kind of cringy, but okay. Can I also say one quick last thing? Okay, this is one thing that I have to fix in terms of my personality wise. 진짜 성격 이 부분은 좀 고쳐야 될 성격이긴 한데 제가 뒤끝이 되게 오래 가요. I have very 뒤끝이 오래 간다는 표현이 영어로 뭐지? 영어. I hold grudge. Yeah, I hold a grudge for a very long time. So remember last week, I ended up, when I was editing for the cryptocurrency one, I ended up Googling it just so that I know which part to take out. Even people say... I'll just end there. 그날 겁나 빡쳤어. Because I ended up Googling it and actually searching for it. That was last Thursday. You said that you're good at English more than Korean? Yeah, but ever since I like lived in Korea and been writing more in Korean, my Korean got better than my English. So it's good that I'm practicing English with you guys. Or else I'll lose it completely. Okay, so let's I'll stop. Anyways, today if there's any troll, I'm just gonna embrace it. I'm gonna embrace you guys. I'm gonna be like, I'm the mom. I'm Soraka. 제가 진짜 소라카인 이제 어머니의 마음으로 if any troll comes and if they, I'll just pat them on the butt. You know what? If I'm having trouble, I'm not even gonna fight with you guys. I'm just gonna be like, oh, you're right. Oh, you want to be, and then we'll just move on. So that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, so moving on, guys. If you tap them on the butt, they might like it more. Oh, 그치. Yeah. I can silence people too. Yeah. But then, as a girl streamer, it might be better if I don't silence them because they might think I'm rude. Or the reality of girl streamers. I'll just tap them on the butt. It's better than tapping them on the face, right? 이거 해야 되겠다. You know, like doggy thingy, 멍멍이들이 밑에 이렇게 하잖아요. I'll do that. Oh, you want to be right? Today there won't be rage quit because I have no content, so I have to embrace you guys. Perfect. Let's go on. Okay, so we got our first news about Pentagon will expect to award up to $9 billion. Is $9 billion a lot of money? In cloud contracts in December. So Pentagon expects to award contracts around 8 months later than expected. Award who? Who are you awarding? Oh, Jedi 있는데? Oh shoot, Jedi, are you awarding people? Oh, 이거 I think this might be worth on Google. You're getting awarded, Jetty. Oh shoot, congrats, Jetty. You're earning $9 billion? Let's put this news on YouTube. 유튜브에 올릴만한 뉴스겠죠? Okay. Ready to be YouTubed, guys? 유튜브 올라갈 준비 됐나요? Naturally. Yeah. So hi guys, today this is the not Jetty. What? Oh shoot, Jetty, are you giving me $900 million? Yeah. 나 너무 찐 행복이었어. It's reality. Reality happiness. Focus. It's the name of the project? Oh yeah, let's read. Sorry, I just read the word Jetty and then Jetty came and I was like, oh shoot, you're earning this much? Okay. 진지 focused mode. Article 1, let's go. So guys, today, article. Pentagon expects to award up to $9 billion in cloud contracts in December. So 2022 December, right? Which is what? April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Oh, there's 9 months left, guys. So Pentagon expects to award contract around 8 months later. 그러네. Oh shoot, it did the counting for me. The idea is to rely on multiple public cloud rather than just one, as previous effort has intended. So they're going to invest in different cloud service? 그러네. So they're going to award as much as $9 billion for cloud infrastructure services in December. So Joint Warfare Cloud Capacity, or JWCC, initiative represents a new path for the US military that would rely on multiple cloud providers rather than a single one. So before now, or I guess 8 months, 9 months, they only had one cloud provider. That's so dangerous, isn't it? And I guess they realized that, so they're going to spend $9 billion on it. That was the strategy the Pentagon had initially sought to use with the Joint Enterprise Defense Infrastructure, or JEDI contract. Oh, so that's where the JEDI contract was. So Jetty was canceled last summer. So Jetty, yeah, you're not getting the nine. Ah, shoot! I lost $900 million. Oh. So Pentagon wound up awarding the contract to Microsoft before canceling it. So they even canceled Microsoft contract. We recognized that our schedule was maybe a little too ahead of what we thought, and that now we're going to wrap up in the fall, and we're aiming to award in December. Not now. So are they going to pick on which cloud infrastructure service that's worth using it and then award it in December? Is that what I'm understanding of this article? So, John Sherman, the Pentagon Chief Information Officer, said on a call, and that in July 2021, when it announced the JWCC, the goal had been to award contract as soon as April 2022. Ah, so they pushed it back in the award ceremony. Pentagon made solicitations to Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Oracle in November. Pentagon still expects the contract to have a 3-year base period and 2-year option period. Ooh. What is base period? Option is the same option word for option trading, I'm guessing. Jetty was to give one vendor the whole contract. This is giving multiple vendor contract. Oh. Then Sherman said the Pentagon will kick off a full and open competition for a future multi-cloud acquisition. 3-year of contract length and 2-year. Oh, that's what it means. So base means officially like dang dang, and then 2-year maybe. So the Jetty contract would have been worth as much as $10 billion over 10 years. JWCC would span 5 years and would have a larger dollar amount over that time period. The work would reach across all 3 security classifications and operate both inside and outside the US, Sherman said. The expectation is that the Pentagon will have access to the unclassified network when the contracts are awarded. Contracts would mark a break from technology service delivery under former President Donald Trump, who had reportedly sought to block Amazon from winning the Jetty contract. Is it Jetty contract, or do I have to read it as Jedi contract? Oh, sorry, Jedi contract, or JEDI contract, which came to be seen as structurally problematic by relying on a single provider. Former Secretary of Defense James Mattis' successor, Lloyd Austin, last year signed off on a joint all-domain command and control, or JADC2, strategy that will draw on artificial intelligence. So Pentagon is using Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Oracle service, cloud service, and they're hoping to reward it. They were going to reward it in April. However, they thought that it's too early or ahead of what we thought. So now they're aiming to award them in December. They aren't using it yet. Solicitation means they are offering it to them. Oh, they aren't using it? Why aren't they using it though? Isn't it better to find a different cloud server than the ones that are well known? Who gets the so isn't it multiple? Contracts are bidding process usually. So are they trying to figure out who is going to be using the Jedi contract? What's so important about this contract? Did it mention Trump was having a Twitter fight with Bezos at the time? Oh, Trump was having a fight with Bezos? So in this type of news, will it help, I guess, these type of companies? Maybe? Trying to see what the good part about this news would help in either stock or companies. It would usually make people pay more attention, but it won't go up too much. So I guess it's something good to be aware of, saying Pentagon will be thinking about using any of these big name for cloud infrastructure. But in terms of like the stock price and everything, it doesn't really help. And I guess for people who don't know, it's important to know what this Jedi contract is. Because I've never heard about this. Or the JWCC. They have so many big words. And that we also think that it'll be important to know about that Pentagon is trying to be more secure in the cloud infrastructure services or their cloud service. But it's not really like big news in terms of stock. It's good for learning, I think, for this type of news, for someone like me who has no interest in what the Pentagon is doing. Like, when I first heard about Pentagon, guys, I know you guys are gonna laugh, but I always thought about the K-pop group, so so this is great news for someone like me, right? It's important. So for those who don't know what Pentagon is, how would you explain? So the Pentagon is a headquarter building of the US Department of Defense. So it's where they do more like war thingy related. Is that how I could conclude Pentagon without sounding too stupid? And all I know that it's located in Virginia. Because I always thought it was located in Washington. I think someone corrected me about that one too. So yeah, see, even if you Google Pentagon, guys, look, it's not just me, guys, but there are other people who think Pentagon, not of this, but of, look, even Twitter, the first thing that comes up is Pentagon OFARs. So, not just me. I bet there's a lot of people who like K-pop that could get confused that Pentagon isn't the US Department of Defense related Pentagon, but the K-pop idol Pentagon. So great news, guys. Even look, see? Oh wait, no, I thought this was okay. So yeah. So spend more time learning about this. I didn't know it was the headquarters, but why did they name it Pentagon though? Because I'm in Korea? Is that why it came up? So you never heard of Pentagon until after 2016? Yeah. I might have heard about it in my history class or any type of those class, but I never cared about it. Oh, the shape of it? Oh, it is Pentagon. Did they build a place first, then named it Pentagon? Or did they do the vice versa? Oh, and then they talked about the shape Pentagon. That's so funny. See, look how popular the K-pop group is too, because third picture is Pentagon. Actually, it's really a good like they've succeeded, because if you type in Pentagon and you get that like K-pop boy band, that's pretty successful. I didn't even know that group was famous. Me neither. I just knew of them. Like, I didn't know in depth of them. But that's why when you guys mentioned Pentagon, I was like, oh, like the K-pop group? Are they doing something with the US? So, great news. Might have sounded a bit stupid, but there's also other meanings. It's nice to look into what Pentagon does. That's something that I would like to do. A bit of studies is kind of the history of Pentagon. So, yeah, good news. Let's move on. The branches of the armed force. Wow. So what do they? So any type of military related things, the decision is made in Pentagon because it's a headquarters, obviously. Just the name of the building is called Pentagon, or the place, right? But people working there, like, they don't say I work at Pentagon. Won't they say I work at the U.S. defense something defense? 뭐지 저시기? Department of Defense. Department of Defense 이렇게 말하지 않나? It was one building that the Canadian didn't burn down in the War of 1812. Oh, why? I think you'd say you work at Pentagon, then whatever you do at the Pentagon. Oh, is that what you say? Oh, so you actually say you work at Pentagon, saying, I work at the cloud service in Pentagon? Canadians burned down the White House? Oh, really? You probably can't say you work at Pentagon? Oh, you can't say it? Probably do say they work at the Pentagon. Oh. Isn't also like the ring called Pentagon? Like boxing ring? 아닌가? Maybe not. What is that one called when you use the fight? Oh, that's octagon. Okay. Close enough. Yeah, the UFC. I said same shape. Pentagon or octagon? Probably that's also because of the shape of the ring, right? CIA spies list that as their job on their LinkedIn? Yeah. Only 3 more sites, true. Yeah, so if you're a spy, what's I wonder what your job is in LinkedIn. Wait, so you can't say you work at Pentagon? I mean, like, specifically job-wise, you probably can't expose what you're, like, doing, but that's, like, the same thing with other jobs. I want to meet someone from Pentagon who works at Pentagon. I think you can say you work there, but can't say what you do. That's true. But that's with other jobs. Right? Not the work itself, but I'm pretty sure you can say you work for CIA or DOD. True. Work at the Pentagon? Oh, so I have to say I work at the Pentagon? Let's see. You can't say you work at Pentagon? Oh, you brought my Lululemon? Thanks. Because last time I said don't bring in any, like, controversial matters. I'll do it later. I wonder if you can say you work at the subway in the Pentagon. Oh, they have a subway in the Pentagon? Oh, thanks for the British accent. Oh, however, if I'm doing my stock news, I don't think you want to hear my British accent. They have McDonald's? That's a good question. Are you gonna be like, I'm the burger flipper in the Pentagon? Thanks, Phantom for... Yeah, it was Phantom, right? Thanks, Phantom, for the fun news. Next news is an Apple hardware subscription could drive greater loyalty and expand its services business. Is this worth putting it on YouTube? Oh, shoot. Cause Apple's price did increase. Might not put the one for Pentagon because I didn't ask good question. I think the key point of Pentagon was that there's a boy group Pentagon and Jinri got confused with Pentagon and Octagon. So I don't think I'll put that on YouTube. But it was a good news to learn about. But are you going to just ditch British accent? I did close enough. I just don't think I can do probably 5 minutes of my British accent. But thank you for redeeming my British accent. Thank you. That's close enough. Let's move on. LSF maybe? For what? What's LSF? Oh. An Apple hardware subscription could drive greater loyalty and expand its services business. Oh shoot, I can listen to the article. Are you
hardware subscription could
she has better pronunciation than me. I then don't listen to her. So last week, Mark Gurman of Bloomberg broke a story about how Apple is working on a subscription service. 아, 진짜 너무 싫다. Okay, let's do this one. I already hate the news. How much money do they want to earn, guys? 진짜 I don't like Apple. Even isn't there 뭐지? Apple Picture Cloud service also subscription based? No, that's true. Let's drink water and then talk about how douchey Apple is. Just kidding. I love you, Apple. Sponsor me. Watch me get an Apple sponsor like future time, just so they can make fun of me. Be like, hi, you talked about Apple. Well, you better do a sponsorship for the money. Haha, sucks to be you. That'll suck. Okay. iPhone? Let's read about it. So, okay. Article number 2, timestamp. Action! Hi guys! So today's news. An Apple hardware subscription could drive greater loyalty and expand its service business. Does not sound good. So last week, Mark Gurman broke a story about how Apple is working on a subscription service. 벌써부터 이 단어 마음에 I don't like this word. I hate subscription, by the way. For the iPhone and other hardware products in the future. Apple has not confirmed this rumor, but would be an interesting program. But this would be an interesting program should Apple offer this type of subscription. It would be especially attractive for those who want the latest and greatest Apple smartphone that gains better cameras and more features each year. So it's not true yet. They haven't confirmed it, but is that why Apple stock is going up? The idea of hardware as a service is not new. Most major PC and cloud computing companies offer some form of anything as a service, also known as XaaS. Oh, is that what XaaS stands for? It describes a general category of cloud computing and remote access services. It recognized the vast number of products, tools, and technologies currently delivered to users as a service over the internet. Many PC makers also offer special programs that sell PCs as a subscription that includes a PC software and service agreement. Really? How? Wait, I've never heard about this. So, is it like kind of like a rental? You go rental? I mean, if the cost was cheaper than selling plus buying, I could see the people who upgrade their phone every 2 years do it. True. So streamers like me who need new phones every time would do it as a subscription. But how much would it cost? It would be like a monthly fee of like $100. I'll buy. Oh, I don't like hardware as a service. Why? We should just own what we buy. True. But there are cases where it's sometimes good, like, to rent. When you say as a service, like hardware as a service, does that mean rental? It's like leasing a car. That's what I'm guessing. Wait, but I have a question. What if you rented a PC and like you do bad things to it? Like, I don't know, watch 19 plus stuff on like a not safe website? Wouldn't that break the computer? Or no? Anything as a service is basically just a money-making model that is purely to make more money. Not gonna lie, that's somewhat true. You break it, you buy it. Oh, is that how they're gonna do it? They would definitely have a clause in the contract. True, true. Fixing that is easy for vendors. Yeah, I just couldn't think out anything that's kind of unfixable. So that's why, like, that's the worst I could think about that could happen to a PC. But like, for example, if you were to mine blockchain, I'm not sure, but I heard that it does somewhat damage your GPU. So I wouldn't want to use a rental service system unless you're a streamer and you're doing like a traveling streamer and you want to use like only the PC stream somewhat, then I guess so. But companies often do that kind of thing with copiers. Monthly charge includes service, maintenance, toner, etc. That's true. That's true. Carriers already have paying monthly for new phones, which is basically a rental anyways. True, but if you're with Google, they don't have special deals or offers. So continuing, guys, for Apple, this would be their first foray into hardware as a service that could drive even more significant revenue and advance their service business exponentially. So okay, how much money do you guys want to earn, Apple? I think Apple is crazy about money. Apple's iPhone revenue for 2021 were $192 billion, and their services revenue was $68 billion that same year. Service revenue for 2021 represented 15.76% of Apple's $378.35 billion total revenue last year. Question, guys. When they talk about their service revenue, what is included? So iPhone revenue is the money that they make when they sell iPhones. Then their service revenue is iCloud subscription? What other subscription are there? Do they have? You pay for 24 and still don't own it? Apple going to do credit card? That'll be interesting. Feel like a lot of iPhone users either trade in or sell their old iPhones every couple of years, so wouldn't make any difference to them. True. I would imagine other service like Apple Music. App 결제. So app payment fee. Apple app payment fee. 뭐냐? What is Apple's app? 뭐지? Payment fee. That's true. App Store. Thank you. I just couldn't remember the name. App Store. Thank you. And then, does Apple Music take... Oh, they also have Apple Movie or Apple TV. Apple TV is also present. Apple Music, etc. Apple Fit is... You have to pay a certain type of subscription fees for Apple Fit as well. Rip off, man! You guys are still buying Apple? That's true. That's true. But still, What makes a potential hardware subscription program from Apple different from the PC and cloud company is that they are a vertically integrated company and would control the hardware, software, and services of this type of offering. PC and cloud-based companies have to cobble together their hardware, software, and in many cases, their service offering from multiple vendors and outside suppliers. This multiple provider solution can cost to any of the subscription service. In most cases, they cannot control their entire services agreement without deep relations and tight integration from partners who provide technology for a dedicated XaaS offering. So honestly, Apple hardware subscription program might be a good idea since they are already in one type of platform and they might be able to offer a cheaper solution, cheaper with quotation mark guys. As a business model, it's splendid. Like, go for it, but as a consumer, giving you the eye roll. Also, it might be good for like companies to have the hardware subscription program. If you have a new programmer, like, or if you have new people working, it might be cheaper to give them the subscription and give them the full set of the i series, like iMac, I don't know, iPhone, you know, companies need phones and stuff, so. This is for the fraction of consumers who always get the newest model. I think it's also good for companies too, no? Actually, a lot of IT people like Apple compared to Windows. But then people do say, the real hardcore programmers do say just use Linux, why use Apple? But I think it's like the newer, like the younger generation prefer using Apple than other other things, but the older crowd still kind of gives them that look of, why are you using Apple? You could just use a different, like Linux. So anyways, continuing. On the other hand, Apple controls the entire stack, which would reduce cost for their subscription offering and could deliver a better and much tighter bundle of hardware, software, and service solutions. And that hardware service subscription would also provide Apple with a more predictable approach to forecasting demand and most likely give them more significant bites of intelligence on the type of products and services these customers want in the future. So everything now is turning into subscription fee. Not gonna lie, I think subscription fee, you can get more money than regular just purchasing, but it could also offer Apple the ability to provide dedicated customized apps and service just for XaaS subscribers that are exclusive just to them. This could entice even more to join any Apple hardware, software, and services subscription program in the future. So they haven't confirmed it yet, but this is or could be the future of Apple, is that not only they're selling hardware or software, but also have a subscription service. Honestly, I know you guys are saying that it's probably for people who's, you know, a hardcore Apple fan who wants to change to Apple product, but I think it's also for someone like me who haven't used Apple and who hates it, but kind of want to try it. But then, you know how they're like, if you're going to buy Apple, you can't just buy the phone itself, you have to buy the laptop and the watch, iWatch, and then the Apple earbud thingy named, I don't know the name because they're all connected. So if they have like a bundle program where they sell all of them for like a decent price for me to like try it for a couple of months, or maybe just to use it because let's say Apple's phone is better than streaming, then I would definitely use the subscription service rather than actually buying the phone itself. But I think in the end, I would have to still compare the price of how long I'm going to use this product for and if it's actually worth buying it or not. So I think they're also thinking about going to the trend. So this is worth trying for Apple. I don't see any bad outcome for this subscription service. And I don't think it's going to anger any of the iPhone users, but actually make them enjoy. So how do you make iOS app with Linux? That's a great question. You should probably ask the IT team. This isn't really different from Google Pixel Pass. They have a Google Pixel Pass? They have one? I didn't know about that. But Google is also offering a subscription service with most of the Google subscription service plus a phone and insurance. So what is included in the Google subscription service? Let's look up Google Pixel Pass. I know you posted it the other day. Except that you keep the Pixel at the end of 2 years. Oh, that's really good. Apple going to rent you the phone, then still make you rent a charging brick? Oh, thank you, Extended. Apple is all about the money, I agree. That's why I own the stock, but not the products. If you really look in depth with Apple's business model, I think it's more for money than the service itself. Sorry, I dropped my phone. So this is apparently the same thing that Apple is thinking of doing, but Google version. So you start $45 a month, which includes YouTube Premium, YouTube Music Premium, Google One, Google Play Pass, device protection, and the latest Pixel. 45 months, plus you get a $5 off on your Google Fi plan. 잠깐만, 이거 괜찮나? Wait, so they're saying that you save up to $414 over 2 years? So is it true? Okay, I pay $5. How much is YouTube Premium? Isn't it like $10? I think this one also increased. $10 for YouTube Premium. And then the latest Pixel phone, I purchased it around, what? Is it $12? Damn. So expensive. $12 a month. And then latest was, how much did I pay, guys? Like $700 for the new Pixel. And then YouTube Music Premium is included in the YouTube Premium. I'm not sure what this Google Play Pass is. And then Google One is back up your phone and say, so it's their cloud service? Wait, why don't I have this? And then I guess you get a device protection. What's included in the device protection? And then $5 is monthly off. So I pay $50 a month for the Google Fi. So 2 years. Wait, I kind of want to do the math. So 2 years, if I were to do this without using this pass, I won't include these because I don't use them at all. But I use the other ones. So 그럼 뭐 얼마야? Then 550 times 2 years 뭐야? 24. 그러면 얼마야? 저기 계산해보고 싶어. 5 times 24. Then so that's $1,200. 다음에 plus 700 plus 12 times 24. Then what? 288. So in a 2 year span, I spend 안돼! 잠깐만 다시 할게. Oh no. So $50 곱하기 여기 24 was 1,200였나? 1,800이구나. Plus 700 for the new Pixel plus 12 times 12 was 288. So equals 2188. 2 years. I'll spend this much money. So I do save money for this. 그다음에 so then 그래? 5 times 24. 얘는 then I'm spending 180 plus 45 times 24. Dude, I'm saving. 잠깐만, 이거 맞지? Wait. I'm only saving $26, $28. 야, 잠깐만. But YouTube Music is connected to YouTube Premium. 이거 같은 거 아니야? Cause I'm getting. What? Yeah, isn't my calculation correct? Oh, it's not the same? But because I also have to pay. You don't get 이것도 내야 되니까. Because I'm using the Google Fi plan. So that's 45 times 24. Because I get $5 off. 야. 그다음에 야. And I know you guys say I'm including the Google Play Pass and the Google One and the Music Premium, but if I don't use it, then it's not really worth it. You know what I mean? If I like use them, then I can count, like I can factor the number in, being like, oh, like music is what, like $10 a month and blah blah blah. Then obviously it's saving money. But if I'm not using these things and I get it, then it's like, is it really worth it? True, but I am actually saving $28. So if you're using Music Premium and the Google Play Pass and the Google One, then it's cheap. But if you're only using the YouTube Premium and the Fi, then you only save up to $28 total of 2 years. Wait, so how come YouTube Music and YouTube... Oh, I didn't know about that. So then Apple would be doing the same thing, right? So it would probably include like Apple TV and Apple something something, Apple iTunes. Are they even called iTunes nowadays? So this one was the latest Pixel phone. I don't know what that means. Let's look into what they mean by latest Pixel phone. Can I click this? So here they're displaying the 6 Pro, and I think this is the latest one, right? So I'm saving up to $414. But I think I purchased Pixel for $700, guys. Oh, 그러네. Or $800. $900였다고 내가? Really? Now I'm getting confused. But anyways, overall, I mean, I guess you do save money. For me, I think it'll be worth it because I use all the services. I use most of the service. I didn't get a Pro actually. I didn't get a Pro. I got regular. So it would have saved me money. But For me, I think this would be worth it, even if it's $28, but the Pixel Pass price changes depending on the phone you choose? Really? Yeah. 야, 이놈의 새끼야. Starting, and it even says starting at $45 a month. 그러니까, if I were to pick Pro, it might change to like $50 a month. 역시. See, honestly, subscription service? 모르겠네. So, to conclude, Apple's subscription service as a business, it's a very good idea, especially if you have the loyal fans. Definitely should do it. And I also think that these type of subscription service is good for those who want to try using an iPhone or any of the Apple products. However, as someone who doesn't use Apple that much, I still don't think that, you know, it would convince me to use Apple. Just because they have a subscription service and that it's much cheaper than before. So, that's all. I hope you guys learned something about Apple, and maybe this might be the factor of why Apple stock is going up. But it's a great news to look into in the future because it might not really happen. For people who swipe their phones every 2 years, true. Who does that though? Is that only like the core fans? Isn't that like 1% of populate like the Apple customers though? I want to know the total percentage, like how it's divided. Like what percentage of Apple users are loyal to just someone like me who just has it for streaming wise and blah blah blah. So interesting to see. What do you think about SLVR, AMC, GameStop stock day trade? Seems some meme stocks ran up the other day. Oh, did they go up again? I hate meme stocks because it's for someone who's learning about stocks, it's really bad. Kind of defeats the purpose of learning stocks because if you just get the insights about meme stock and they just, you know, you just start yelling out to the moon! You know, what's the point of learning about stocks? Although some people might think stock is gambling, but if you kind of want to look into, like, if you're gonna gamble, just gamble, like do poker or do other type of like actual gambling thing. Why gamble with company's profit? Because imagine how much people spend to make this company famous or, you know, be a thing. So Apple in this for profit, not making things cheaper? Hopefully. So according to the news, in 2016, American smartphone owners use their phone for 22 points. Really? 22 months? 와, 진짜? That's real. 미쳤다. Can I just say that's crazy? So they change every 2 years? People actually do change every 2 years? Guys, that's crazy. Just save up your money, guys. Save that money and... Okay, well, let's talk about Tesla. 아, 진짜로? And here I am who used my latest phone for like 4 or 5 years. The only reason I'm getting the new one is that it's like my phone is dying. So yeah, guys, save up the money and donate to me. I still have to get money for my DSLR, guys. I'm $300 short. So don't forget to sub and help me with my DSLR. It'll help me look pretty, guys. Moving on, sorry. used to give new phones. True. But 18 months is a lot though, no? John Prosser made an interesting video explaining the real intention for the subs. What'd he say? I only upgraded cause they gave me 800 for my 2-year-old phone. True. Yeah, I have DSLR Dono. So, next article, guys. I think this one also, because it has Tesla, I know people are gonna love it, so I will put this on YouTube. But, next article, the article for today is Tesla move shows stock split are back.
6.
Thanks, Saint. We're just gonna wait for that thing to... Okay. So, Tesla time! Investors are buying, often seeing the split as a signal of management confidence. So, last week, it seems that there was an opening of Tesla factory in Germany, and that stock splits are back in vogue. Tesla on Monday said it would seek to split its highly priced stock for the second time in 2 years. Already in 2022, both Google parent Alphabet and Amazon have unveiled plans for a 20-for-1 split. Oh, even Amazon was gonna split, guys? Stock split themselves don't change the value of a company or the worth of shareholders' investments, but investors often interpret such plan as a signal of confidence by management, and they snapped up shares of all 3 companies after the news. So I'm guessing that's probably why. So Tesla's share climbed 8% to $1,091 on Monday. While Alphabet and Amazon also rose. In the trading sessions after the company said splits were in the works, I can't speak. Alphabet shares are up 3.9% since the February 1st announcement, and Amazon is up 22% since March 9th. It has this connotation that a stock isn't splitting unless the company is successful, and they expect the price to go even higher and higher. That perception is sort of the driving factor. Once more common, stock split had seemed to be falling out of favor as more companies let their share prices climb. The rationale for the comeback? Some companies say a stock split makes their shares more accessible to a wider range of investors. That's true. So someone like me, like, I want Tesla, but I don't have $1,000, and I want to be part of this let's go to the moon crowd. Then I would actually buy Tesla stock because they're splitting and that the price is now affordable to what, I don't know how it's gonna be, but even like $200 from 1,000, it's worth buying. So 2 years ago in summer, 5-to-1 split of Tesla, and going to split again, you could have got it 2 years ago. In the case of Tesla, individual investors don't appear to be waiting for a split to take effect. They pile into shares of the electronic vehicle maker Monday, buying a net $37 million in stock, the highest one-day total in 2 months. Investors intrigued by the potential split still have questions, including when Tesla might divide its stock and how many shares they will receive for each existing one. And that Tesla said Monday that it would ask shareholders at its annual meeting, which typically takes place in the fall, to approve an increase in the authorized number of shares to enable a stock split. Back in 2020, Tesla's announcement of its first stock split also set off a buying spree. The day after the company said it would split its shares 5-for-1, individual investors bought a net $39.5 million of its share, more than 11 times as much as in the previous session. I'm just sighing. Is it really worth it? I said last month because I'm thinking it's already April. Oh, to me, it's already April too. Some brokerage now offer fractional share purchases. Like Bitcoin, you know how they offer like 0.5, you could buy a 0.5 share of Tesla. So guys, question. Everyone is saying that, or everyone is confident because whenever stock split is happening, even in the article they say that it kind of represents the success, or it kind of means that, you know, the company is doing very good and that their overall price will increase in the future. Do you guys still believe in Tesla? Even this day, 2022, March 30th, when I'm recording this, do you still think that Tesla still has the potential of going to the moon when other famous automotive companies like Ford, GM, Hyundai, Germany, car company, blah, 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 are all going into the EV or autonomous car? Do you still think that Tesla has a chance to go against them? Really? Why do you guys think it'll stay strong though? Because I've been inside a Tesla car. It was funny because I was in New York and the car looked fancy and I got on it and it was a Tesla. The guy was driving a Tesla for his Uber job, and the giant pad that they have, I thought that was like he put it there just because he was a Uber driver, but it wasn't. Apparently it's like attached to it, and I was like, this is so ugly, like I'm not gonna buy this. But I really didn't like the inside design. So for me, maybe not. I don't see a potential. Like, I think there are other very nice fancy car models out there that's much better than Tesla, or they're much more safer, at least because they already have the history of building the cars and everything. But I don't remember which model it was because I didn't really look at the back. But the only memory I have of Tesla car was that it's not what I thought it would be, design wise, or yeah, quality wise. So interesting trivia. Ford is the only US automaker that has never declared bankruptcy. Oh, really? That's interesting. They are competing with Tesla, not the other way around. So Tesla's not competing with them. Stock price not equal the business? Why? Maybe to the stratosphere? Because I think Tesla is a semi-meme stock with a strong foundation. Maybe that's why. Maybe. Elon profile on Twitter is fun to follow, but Tesla is vaporware since 2016. Great businessman, not so great company. Tesla is still a bit ahead just because they started earlier, but it would be more about what they do from now on. Yeah. So that's why I think they should change the name of this company. You know, it's the same thing. Like, I was always aware of I just had his name in my mind. I was like reorganizing what I was going to say, and I was like ready to say the name, and I totally forgot about it when I was thinking about the company that he's in. Oh, so you know, it's like the same thing with Warren Buffett. people know Warren Buffett more than his company, I feel like, right? So, of course the name Tesla is famous, but I think it's like the same thing where Tesla is Tesla, people are believing in Tesla not because of their technology or everything, but just because Elon Musk is a great businessman and a great, you know, entertainer. Tesla will stay ahead, especially in the software side, because of the amount of data they process. True. Tesla has also SpaceX or any and all of the money Elon has, because at any time he can throw it into this and that company. Tesla isn't SpaceX, but people will associate Tesla with SpaceX because he said he's gonna put a Tesla car in front of their spaceship. Isn't that why? Not the really smart people, but we all know how those meme stock turned out. True. So who's a strong believer in Tesla? I think we see couple. Like, who believes that Tesla has the technology, like the one technology that people can't achieve of, or that their car is made with like gold, or the best technology out there? Oh, you didn't buy more in the 800s? I believe they have the best technology for now. So you know how Tesla also had that long, like, lot of talk about using LiDAR versus camera. So those who are still believing in Tesla, you guys are thinking that instead of the LiDAR technology, that the camera is better? And what technology do you trust in with Tesla? I know you guys did mention that because they have a lot of data, their software is going to be very good. What other data do they have that makes it so popular? Because I get so many feedback of the Tesla car, and a lot of people do like it. The self-driving software. Oh, is it also fast? Have you tried other self-driving technology, like cars out there? I haven't tried Tesla's self-driving like thing, cause I know Kia has a self-driving, like somewhat self-driving, where you just, it's it's like the cruise mode, but you don't really like do anything with the handle. Is it the same thing, or is this completely different? So what makes self-driving software in Tesla car different? Like, explain in words. Most car companies have some kind of lane assistant technologies. Yeah. But doesn't it, all they do is detect cars. It doesn't really like turn on its own. Don't you use the self-driving more on the highways, not on like downtown? Or can you use Tesla downtown with this self-driving? You gotta talk. Who's we? Oh, we had to talk about this. So what level is Tesla in? In terms of the autonomous vehicle level. I thought it was 1, isn't it? I think they said it was 1. 1 or 2. But I think this is where everyone is at, though. Cause when I tried I haven't tried Tesla Autonomous, so I can't talk much about it, but I've tried the Kia Autonomous software, and most of the time it's really great, especially because they are aware of cars coming to the side. You know, it keeps giving me the beeps and stuff, but so Musk said level 4 likely next year. So they're saying that they're on level 3. But we can't really trust what Musk says, right? Because, like, for me, I could be like, hey, my business is going to be like $1 million business next year. So guys, invest in it. You know, I would be interested in what famous car experts would have to say about what level they are in, because I've heard that Tesla is in 2. I've heard they're in 1, so they're not like at the stage of automated systems. So it would be great to see it, and it'd be really fun to try it, but it's very nice seeing all these Tesla believers like going crazy about it, and that, you know, it seems that like if this stock wasn't alive, that their life wouldn't be full. So anyways, to kind of conclude with the Tesla's stock split, I think it's great that they're doing it so that people who wanted to buy Tesla stock could at a cheaper price. It won't have probably the same value as their like original one, but always want to say be careful with semi-meme stocks, because you don't know what could happen in the future, and that always be sure to do some research when you're buying stock, and don't trust any meme sites out there when it comes to investments. So that's all for Tesla stock. You're not a fan of electric cars, but I do think they are the future. Why is it sad though? Isn't it a good thing? Less gas is important, I feel like, because I could somewhat feel like, you know, global warming is a big issue nowadays, so it would be something good to make it happen. So electric cars should be the future. Yeah. Oh, true. Gas and electric does feel different. I'm not gonna go against that. But to save the earth, it should be the future. They should have like a deal of when you could drive gas cars. But Tesla's interesting. Let's move on, guys. This is fun. There's great news. I love how you guys are putting news right now. Oh, is this the Amazon split? It's been a while news, right? How long has it been? So, dude, really? It's been March 10th. Yeah, I'm still picking news. Let's turn on music so that I can pick whatever I want to do. I've never driven stick car before, so that would be something fun to try. But I don't know if I want to stream it. Oh. Should I do Lululemon one? Because my Lululemon review is famous, guys. I don't know why. What else could we do? We have Tesla. UPS expands deal with Google Cloud to prepare for surge in data. What did Google? What is DOJ? Anti-bill targeting Amazon, Google, Apple gets support from DOJ. Department of Justice? 이거 해볼까? I've never driven a manual transmission. I guess so. The Justice Department told lawmakers in a letter that the rise of dominant platforms present a threat to open markets and competition. This is so harsh. So I think this article is saying that they're not enjoying the dominance of big companies like Amazon and Google, where they favor their own products. Oh, even the Senate Judiciary Committee is Korean. Peter Hyun. 몰랐네. A letter obtained by the Wall Street Journal. Probably. He might be a Korean born too. This would be interesting. Wait, so then what do they want to do then? I'm not 100% understanding, because they're like the discriminatory conduct by dominant platform can sap the reward from other innovators and entrepreneurs. So the antitrust bill, they're saying, hey, I don't like the fact that you guys are controlling the whole market and that you guys should help entrepreneurs or new innovators step up and do their things, right? Why are they saying that? I guess I haven't been in a business position. Mullen is an EV. Mullen? I've never heard about that company. That had some rumors and wild stock swings. 1 year EST is 23 now at... What? Is that a stock? Why? Why are they doing that to the big companies? What are they? Do you guys? What is it? Monopoly? Like, are they controlling the whole market? But so honestly, I think it's very similar to streaming if you think about it. Like, you know how the really famous streamers people only watch those type of people, and a lot of people on Twitch complain to Twitch saying that, hey, you need to help, you know, like the smaller community survive, because if you're only promoting the bigger community, like, or we're not being able to be noticed a lot. But if you think about it, the reason why I'm saying this is I feel like they should play more on the viewers, not the Twitch itself, since it's the viewer's choice to watch the streamer. And I think this, the reason why I'm saying this with this is that it's the consumer's choice of using Amazon because it's more, for them, easy to use. So I feel like Monopoly, you can't really do anything to change Monopoly. Like, I don't know if it's a good idea to force Monopoly on companies. It wasn't their choice to become their monopoly. They just did a good job of like making their business be easily used to consumers. And did a good job of marketing. I just find these things. Antitrust legislation is against monopolies? Yeah. So how are they going to control it? How is government going to step in? Like, what do they usually do to stop monopoly then? Can't they just then, so can't the government just support their competitors? You can have the companies break up. Oh, so it could be like other Amazon companies. Monopoly tend to buy out competitors and then rule the entire market. Oh, that's true. Instead of growing. I wonder if there's a thing in Korea for that too. So then government just breaks companies up? Ah, because they have all the money? Oh, really? Like what companies? The phone company AT&T was broken up of a bigger company. Oh. Feels like they're defining the market pretty tightly now in order to call them monopolies though. That's why there are strong antitrust laws, especially in Europe. So this type of law is called antitrust laws. I think I learned this in my marketing class. Oh, Ma Bell is actually a company? Oh, I thought you were... Wait, I thought you were kind of joking. Like, it's Ma Bell. Like, your AT&T was your bell. We also had a stream about it. We talked about this? No, I had a class talking about this back in marketing. But it's the first time seeing an actual case. Because all the books, you know, they were all... Really? 내가 기억이 안 나지? On my stream? 진짜? Let me check my video edits. Difference. IOI. Type of. Is Federal Reserve. Federal. 없는데? 없어. Not during stock stream, I think. It was during when I was trying to learn marketing. Oh, really? Oh. Bell Atlantic on the northeast. The system of companies were often colloquially called Mabel. A Mother Bell. Ah. So this was a telecommunication. Wait, can we get a article for antitrust again then? I wonder if they have it in the thingy. So I want to kind of go with what is the definition of the current market monopoly in terms of current market monopoly. Because this article is saying, wait, should I make this into a thing? 잠깐만, 이거 너무 아까운데? We are having such a good conversation. Let's add this. Is this law school stuff? Wow, shoot. This is why I could never be a lawyer. Wow, too many things to know. I hate when we have to follow the rules, or if there's like instructions on when something happens. Ugh. I like solving things. Third, is this third article? Like, what's the number we're on? I like this conversation. I might take off the first one and then add Apple, Tesla, and this one. So, can we get a timestamp, guys? Thank you. So, today's article is antitrust bill targeting Amazon, Google, Apple gets support from DOJ. The Justice Department told lawmakers in a letter that the rise of dominant platforms presents a threat to open market and competition. Is that News 5? Oh, can you put it on the stock education? I'll look at it beforehand and see. Because I think we have a different one for today. Thank you. 감사합니다. Yeah, and I think I go better off with Investo. Wait, no, some of the Investopedia ones are also hard. Or like they phrase things in a weird way. But I'll try putting the two and I'll try to read it beforehand so I could ask smart questions. Okay, so Washington. I didn't have to read that, but the Justice Department Monday endorsed legislation forbidding large digital platforms such as Amazon and Google from favoring their own products and services over competitors, marking the Biden administration's first full-throated support of the antitrust measure. The department views the rise of dominant platforms as presenting a threat to open markets and competition, with risks for consumers, businesses, innovation. What is this? Resiliency, global competitiveness, and our democracy. Is it really a threat? And okay, continue reading. The letter obtained by the Wall Street Journal expresses support for the American Innovation and Choice Online Act, which the Senate Judiciary panel approved in January in a bipartisan vote, as well as similar legislation moving through the House. Amazon, Alphabet, Google, Apple, and other opposed the proposed legislation. saying it would make it harder to offer popular services. The bill's opponents also say it is fair for e-marketplaces, search engines, and app stores to profit off their creation's popularity. The department's letter throws its weight behind a different view, that the platform's dominant position gives them unchecked power to influence the fate of other businesses, and that restricting the platform's conduct would carry significant benefits. Discriminatory conduct by dominant platforms can sap the rewards from other innovators and entrepreneurs, reducing the incentive for entrepreneurship and innovation. Even more importantly, the legislation may support the growth of new tech businesses. Oh, this can be a bit of political issue, but wait, if I side the company, does it make me a certain type of political matter? I hope not. So the Biden administration's support boosts the prospects for passing the legislation, which has cleared key committees in the House and Senate, but it still hasn't received a vote on the floor of either chamber, and it faces industry resistance as well as skepticism on both sides of the aisle. Some conservatives are wary of expanding the government's power to police digital markets, while some Democrats, particularly from California, says the legislation unfairly targets a handful of large companies. It does kind of go into politics, but yeah. So, oh, it's more of economical theory. That's great. That's great. So at the January committee vote, a number of senators who voted yes said they still want to see changes to the bill before supporting it on the Senate floor. The legislation's backer, including Senate Amy and Chuck Grassley, sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, are in talks with their colleagues to craft a version of the bill that can pass. So this antitrust law, maybe we have to know what that is first, right? Because it seems that this is the important, but I don't think we'll talk about that now because that's going to take a very long time and I have a bunch of articles to go through. But yeah, I think, yeah, I don't think that, like, it depends how you drive the conversation. If you want to go like very politically, then it becomes political, but you don't really have to. So this article is saying that monopoly is happening through some of the big companies out there, for example, Google, Amazon, Apple, blah, etc, and that people are thinking that they are the monopoly of search engines, app stores, and everything. So what is monopoly? Like, Monopoly is a game, guys. Wouldn't call people, let's just say some lawmakers. Okay, so some lawmakers. Yeah, Monopoly is a board game. True, Monopoly is a board game, but it seems that, does Monopoly not have a fine line of, or like an exact definition that people can all agree on? Monopoly just means a company or few companies control vast majority of an industry. It's when a single company controls the single market. So then, do you guys think Amazon, Google, Apple. Those type of company are the monopoly of their market. I'm pretty sure there's no definition in terms of percentage of a market. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting to look into. A true monopoly would be a company that is effectively the only viable company in that market. True. And none of those fit that definition. So some people are saying pretty much yes, and some people are saying it's kind of not the correct definition. They're not monopolies unless you mark out something specific they do very successfully as a market. So let's start with Amazon. Is Amazon monopoly? Is there no companies that, you know, does the same thing as what Amazon is doing? So older, back then, not during Jinri time, it seems that there were AT&T, Mabel. I learned about Mabel, guys. Not like Mabel. Standard Oil, OTOH, I guess that's another company. They were true monopolies. So at the time, like back in the old time, there wasn't anything that was their competitors. Like, no phone service providers at the time. And that's what true monopoly is called. Then why are people... So then people who are considering why Amazon or other big company are monopoly... Why do you guys think that they're monopoly then? So Amazon is a marketplace and they can promote Amazon Basic over competitors. There won't be other monopoly like Mabel because laws now exist to prevent that level of monopoly, but now we are finding new levels of monopoly. I wonder if it's also considered jealousy. But promoting it isn't like... But if you think about it, guys, if you really think about it, the article about JWCC earlier shows that Amazon has competitors. True. But guys, I just had this train of thought. I'm thinking, let's say you guys started making, you know, you guys have a platform. Let's say you guys are the owner of Amazon, okay? Guys, be Bezo. Pretend you're Bezo, guys. This is Bezo. And that, like, one of your employee came up with this really great idea and they wanted to sell it on Amazon. And you're like, okay, sell it. You know that if you sell your product, you're gonna make profit. So wouldn't you want to promote your own product? And it's like, even if you promote it, doesn't mean that that's like, you know, like that consumers are obviously going to buy it. Promoting it doesn't always equal people are only going to buy that, right? Like, I think people are smart enough to compare what they're going to buy. Oh, of course there's going to be people who are going to be like, oh, because Amazon is selling this and I'm going to buy it. But I just feel like they're going a little too harsh with this thing. So then what would the department, or I guess what would they have to do with to make everyone satisfied? Or is that even a thing? Like, can people be satisfied? Is there like a percentage of number to, can we even like make a percentage of number to like say that is the definition of monopoly? Let's say if you're controlling 99% of the market, then that's what monopoly is. Like, can't they just do that, or is that much more difficult to do? Alibaba or Groupon are some similar companies. True. They don't really promote their own product on the marketplace. Amazon will make a replica and kick the original company like the last time. Oh, is that what they do? That's true. If they do something like that, then that shouldn't be happening. But if they're selling their own product, and you know, like obviously you would want to promote it though, no? I mean, maybe, but I still think antitrust laws are necessary for certain markets. True, true. I think the law isn't that bad, and that it should be there, but I think it's important to draw a fine line of what is considered monopoly then. We already see somewhat of downside of monopoly, Netflix raising prices every year and people still just take it. That's true, but they aren't even monopoly, but rather a trust, cause other companies like Disney are also raising prices. Yeah, I guess it just sucks for, sorry, it just sucks for the consumer side if they're all just going to go up like that. Oh, I think I remember talking about this in my marketing class. That is a contract issue between Amazon and those companies, not a monopoly issue. Oh, so that's a different type of issue. Yeah. When we're talking about one like monopoly issue, we should just talk about the monopoly issue. Because if we bring in other issues that the company's having, then I think the conversation is just gonna go all over the place. So just overall, I think they're like, you know, companies, I see why antitrust law is needed, but I think they have to define a fine line of like how they're going to do it. And I think that's always a hard thing. We can always talk about it and like talk crap about, you know, people being like, oh my god, you guys aren't doing it correctly, or the lawmakers or any of these people, but yeah, but you know, you guys all know it's hard. So theoretically, the law should prevent things like that by introducing competition, which the antitrust law should help with. But realistically, it's hard. Yeah. So couldn't they? So my other question is, can't the government help with the entrepreneur? Or like support them, give them more funding? If they want it to be like, if they don't want monopoly to happen, instead of breaking up the big companies? Cause like, I don't know, I think it would suck for big companies because they put in so much effort to come this far, and the fact that government is like, oh my god, you're such a monopoly, like you should just break up. So. But how much and how can they decide who to help to break into the market saturated by these big companies? It would require billions of dollars. But what about the effort that the big companies brought? Like, no, 아닌가? Do I think too much about in terms of the company side? YouTube was Google's best revenue maker during the pandemic. Yeah, true. From the company's perspective, they want to use integration techniques to maximize efficiency and minimize the cost. The young companies so far behind because big data also plays a factor on sales to customers. True. To your point, but for consumers, antitrust can be seen as necessarily evil. Oh, really? Yeah. I think, oh, this is why it's bad to start a business. Because I just keep thinking of it as more on the company side. Because it helps to prevent companies to raise price for no reason. Yeah, I think that I agree. People like Netflix, do you think it's really worth $10? Or for example, Google to be $12 for that subscription? I don't think so. All they're doing is not showing me ads. And come on, guys, like really? It should have just stayed at like what was it, like $7 before? So them just raising the price is that should be changed upon. But I don't know. 진짜 여기서 one phrase that comes to my mind is that people are endlessly have endless 뭐지? What's that word I'm looking for? People are greedy. People, there's no end to greed, I think. Because even if they're rich, they still want more money. Greed, yeah. The thing is, usually barriers to change for consumers should be considered when thinking about antitrust laws, antitrust. But if Google search or Amazon pissed off their consumers, it would be trivially easy for the customers to change provider. It's not bad to create a startup, but different perspective from a founder to the consumers. Yeah, it's so different because even it's just like streaming too. It's like I didn't understand when people were complaining to Twitch saying, hey, promote the smaller streamers more. But it's like, if you don't have good content that makes people interested in what you're doing, or if you're not portraying a good quality of any sort, then obviously even if you get promoted, people aren't gonna stay and watch you. So that's why I'm like, let's get a DSLR. Let's get, a nice background. Because those type of visual effect is very important. So guys, sponsor my DSLR, guys. What that was smooth. So natural. Anyways. Of course it's all luck too, but if you're going to be a startup, it has to be in a field where no one is. Yeah, that's always hard. But what gets labeled as greed is often just acting in one's self-interest. Yeah. I think big companies also greedy too. I don't know. Ever since I've been doing a lot of like business related content or even starting my own business, I've just been thinking a lot about the company and that it did change my perspective a lot. And I guess I don't really think for the consumers anymore. But then sometimes if I use something and I hate it, then I think like a consumer. It's like, why they make it like this crappy thing? Just like, talk crap about it. So Apple and Google don't have to make more money. Yeah. So those people shouldn't increase money. Or YouTube even. But anyways. Conclusion for this article is we had a very good conversation in terms of, is it really monopoly? What is the definition of monopoly? Do we need it? Do you think that this is kind of going too far? Conclusion wise, maybe you might not want to consider them monopoly, but if they're doing anything like raising the price for no reason, like what secretary mentioned, then those things should be stopped. And that like we gotta figure out a better way to figure out the solution, but it's always hard. That's why people say if you're gonna work, if your work is anything related to government or any type of those like laws and anything, people are gonna hate you no matter what you do. Which is really sad to say, but because you can't satisfy everyone. So, but I think this was a very good article, at least for me, to understand what people think about, and that, you know, we could have a conversation that's related to political issues, or even, you know, and that without even talking about the politics. So, good luck. Fighting. Justice Department, good luck. And Amazon, Google, Apple, good luck. Whoever wins will be fun, but, you know, I hope you guys settle down with a good solution. Companies shouldn't be expected to act in the interest of their competitors ahead of their own interest, which is what antitrust folks... What? Using Korean chaebol is more of an easier look on monopolies than most. Korean chaebol isn't really monopoly either. Dude, so many Koreans are rich, guys. Dude, they're always driving Tesla, or sorry, not Tesla, Porsche or something. They always have a Louis Vuitton. Okay. Let's move on with the articles. Man, there was gonna be... I wouldn't even get to talk about my own article. There's job openings. Probably some with parents, but most rich Koreans aren't chaebol either. Yeah. Gangnam area is rich area? Yeah. Do we talk about jobs? Wait, what does that say? Jinri Ko is exempt from yeah. Wait, so does that mean I'm a...
From antitrust laws kappa.
Thank you, Jetty, for 1,000 bits. Thank you, 감사합니다. Guys, you know what I also realized? I'm antitrust. Oh, sorry, I'm monopoly. Guys, I'm monopoly. No one's doing this type of content. Government, are you going to charkung me? Wait, government, are you going to have a talk with me? Twitch government might have a talk with me saying you're doing this as a monopoly. If we have a dictator, don't have to have antitrust law. True. I'll be the dictator then. So realize that my company Jinrico is actually a monopoly in Twitch. So guys, don't spread the rumors. We can't get famous or big. Should we talk about job opening? I kind of wanted to talk about job opening, but I think we should move on and do a bit of EBITDA, because we haven't done this yet, and I have a meeting I forgot about at 12:30 for the project that I'm doing. That's why I said today's gonna be a short stream. I didn't want it to be a short stream, but it ended up being a short stream. Sorry, guys. So we're going to talk about EBITDA and then call it a day. EBITDA, yeah. EBITDA. Yeah? How do you pronounce this? Am I pronouncing this wrong? Speed run? Is this long? Or let's do a different article. It doesn't have to be. Oh, shoot, but I know I'm gonna make it long. I hate myself for making it long. EBITDA. Let's hope that it's not too long, guys. Always forgetting meeting. Maybe you should write them down on my calendar. I actually did write them down, but you know how I don't check my phone on my stream? So if I look at my phone, don't yeah. So, hi guys, today we're gonna be talking about EBITDA, earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization. So let's get to it, guys. And then I have my intro, and then it's like blah blah blah, and then I'm like follow and subscribe, and then it's like ba da da da, and then guys, what is earning before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization? So EBITDA or the EBITDA. My old finance professor used to say EBITDA. EBITDA 말고 EBITDA, EBITDA. It's so hard. It's like how Koreans are pronouncing impje as in INFJ. It's not INFJ, it's impje. And you're like, why? How? So, anyways, side story. So this is a measure of a company's overall financial performance and is used as an alternative to net income in some circumstances. EBITDA, however, can be misleading because it strips out the cost of capital investments like property, plants, and equipment. This matrix also excludes expenses associated with debt by adding back interest expense and taxes to earnings. Nonetheless, it is a more precise measure of corporate performance since it is able to show earnings before the influence of accounting and financial deducts. Okay, simply put, EBITDA is a measure of profitability. While there is no legal requirement for companies to disclose their EBITDA, according to US generally, accepted accounting principle, GAAP, according to US GAAP, is that GAAP? Okay, that's what I thought. It can be worked out and reported using the information found in a company's financial statement. So this is contained in the financial statement, which we still haven't which we still haven't learned yet, right? Or how to read the balance sheet. The earnings, tax, and interest figures are found on the income statement, while the depreciation and amortization figures are normally found in the notes to operating profit or on the cash flow statement. Oh my god. PTSD. I hate cash flow statement, income statement. I can't read the financial statement yet. So remembering those two words, it was kind of disgusting. Sorry, guys. The usual shortcut to calculate EBITDA is to start with operating profit, also called earnings before interest and tax. So this is how much you earn, not including not cutting tax. So it's like when you guys give me bits, like 1,000 bits or 10 gifted subs, then I get $50, right? That's because that's before interest or tax, right? Then add back depreciation and amortization. So then if you guys give me 10 gifted subs, I get my earning before interest of $50. But then if I add back the depreciation and amortization, I think I get like $25. That's all for today. Guys, streaming sucks! Just kidding. I think that's about it though. What does interest mean in this context? How much money Twitch takes, and then how much money it costs to transfer to my bank. So guys, support me with bids, because then you guys are in charge of the depreciation and amortization, not me. Moving on, key takeaways. Earnings before interest, tax, is widely used metrics of corporate profitability. EBITDA can be used to compare companies against each other and industry average. Oh, I didn't know. What is industry average? EBITDA is a good measure of core profit trends because it eliminates some extraneous factors and provides a more accurate comparison between companies. EBITDA can be used as a shortcut to estimate the cash flow available to pay the debt of long-term assets. Okay, So there is formula and calculation. Interest would be interest from loans as a company. Oh, yeah. 몰라. If you're asking like the real definition of interest, not in terms of Twitch, then ask a different person on chat. Like, I'm learning with you. Don't ask me anything. Stay away. So, EBITDA formula and calculation. EBITDA is calculated in a straightforward manner with information that is easily found on a company's income statement and balance sheet. I hate these two. There are two formulas used to calculate EBITDA. One that uses operating income and the other net income. The two EBITDA calculations are, guys, write this down. EBITDA equals net income plus taxes plus interest expense plus depreciation and amortization. That's everything just added. And EBITDA equals operating income and depreciation and amortization. So you just add everything. So isn't like interest expense and tax going to be minus? Understanding EBITDA. EBITDA is essentially net income with interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization added back. EBITDA can be used to analyze and compare profitability among companies and industries as it eliminates the effects of financing and capital expenditures. EBITDA is often used in valuation ratios and can be compared to enterprise value and revenue. What is valuation ratio? 이건 뭔지 모르겠다. So how much like how much the company is worth in ratio terms? Does that make sense? That sounds kind of weird. Interest expenses and to a lesser extent interest income are added back to net income, which neutralize the cost of debt and the effect that interest payments have on taxes. It would just be easy to think of it as another way to value a company. So everything that I've been reading, it's been like, this is just to value a company, but it's not completely trustworthy. Or though I think it would be a poor measure. So like if you're quickly doing a investment to a company, then you should check like the EBITDA number so that we can check their profitability. But in the long run, this shouldn't be the only thing that you should trust to invest in a company, right? Is that kind of like what I should be saying? Or is that what I should be understanding of EBITDA? Okay. Hey, I've been getting better at understanding these hard concepts. So we made big progress. Income taxes are also added back to net income, which does not always increase EBITDA if the company has a net loss. Okay, companies tend to spotlight their EBITDA performance when they do not have very impressive net income. So EBITDA doesn't reflect much on the net loss. So if you're doing bad, this is what they show. It's not always a telltale sign of malicious market trickery, but it can sometimes be used to distract investors from the lack of real profitability. That's so mean. A valuation ratio shows the relationship between the market value of a company or its equity and some fundamental financial matrix. So I see why you're saying that it would be a poor measure. Because they don't really know what this fundamental financial matrix is, or like the background of it, right? Company use depreciation and amortization accounts to expense the cost of property, plants, and equipment or capital investment. Amortization is often used to expense the cost of software development or other intellectual properties. This is one of the reasons why early-stage technology and research company feature EBITDA when communicating with investors and analysts. Management teams will argue that EBITDA gives a better picture of profit growth trend when the expense accounts associated with capital are excluded. While there is nothing necessarily misleading about using EBITDA as a growth metric, it can sometimes overshadow a company's actual financial performance and risk. So if your company, or if the company that you're interested in is only showing their EBITDA, or they're marketing their EBITDA price way too much, then that's a red light. Right? This is like making one number from balance sheet and income statement without understanding anything about those things. That's what you think EBITDA is. As a general rule, you should look at all valuation number, not just one number. Yeah, but what if you can't read the other valuation number like me? 못 읽으면은 망하는 거죠. So someone like me who's not educated properly with financial investments, yada yada yada, would be completely tricked when a company goes, look at my EBITDA number, it's so good that it's worth investing. And I'll just be like, oh, some fancy financial terminology. And then I'll probably Google search it and it'll be like, oh, it's like the profitability, blah, blah, blah. And you'll be like, oh, this company makes so much money. Yeah, I should just completely just like, I trust this company and like do so good, right? Seems funny to use a beta number. Yeah, I wouldn't be doing that because I haven't been properly educated in this. So if a company might be like, hey, just look at how much we sold and as long as we don't have that tax issue, we would be great. Then it's like, people, oh no, be careful. So moving on, EBITDA and leveraged buyout. So first came to prominence in the mid-1980s when leveraged buyout investors examined distressed companies that needed financial restructuring. They used EBITDA to calculate quickly whether these companies could pay back the interest on these financial deals. Leveraged buyout bankers promoted EBITDA as a tool to determine whether a company could serve its debt in the short term. These bankers claim that looking at the company's EBITDA to interest coverage ratio, 진짜 근데, like they have so many fancy words. EBITDA. Is that, do I pronounce the da a lot? 칼국수님 어서 오세요. Would give investors a sense of whether a company could meet the heavier interest payments that it would face after restructuring. For instance, bankers might argue that a company with EBITDA of $5 million and interest charges of $2.5 million had interest coverage of 2, more than enough to pay off debt. EBITDA was a popular metric in the 1980s to measure a company's ability to service the debt using in a leveraged buyout. Using a limited measure of profits before a company has become fully leveraged in a leveraged buyout is appropriate. EBITDA was popularized further during the dot-com bubble when companies had very expensive assets and debt loaded that were obscuring what analysts and managers felt were a legitimate growth number. EBITDA. Oh, Ibiza? In a British way? EBITDA. 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 So I should say EBITDA. 왜 이렇게 발음 어려워? Why don't they just say EBITDA? EBITDA? 웹, 에비타 아니야? 에비타, 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 에비타. 내가 네 앱이다. 앱이다. Hate this word. Why can't they just be like ebida? Yeah, I'm pronouncing it very Asian. I realize that every time I read this word, it sounds super Asian, and I just, it's very cringy. So, continuing, guys, let's like, can we move on with the pronunciation? Unless I'm completely saying it wrong to a point where people can't understand what I'm saying. But, cause. The drawbacks, because I have no time. I have 8 minutes. We're gonna rush through. Oh, it's so interesting. So the drawbacks is that this does not fall under the above mentioned gap as a measure of financial performance that we talked about. This is a non-gap measure. Its calculation can vary from one company to the next. It is not uncommon for companies to emphasize EBITDA. 너무 싫어. Emphasize EBITDA over net income because it is more flexible and can distract from other problem areas in the financial statements. An important red flag for investors, to watch is when a company starts to report EBITDA prominently, but hasn't done so in the past. Oh, see, like what I just said. This can happen when companies have borrowed heavily or are experiencing rising capital, and development costs. In this circumstance, EBITDA can serve as a distraction for investors and may be misleading. So this ignores the cost assets, the working capitals, and then there's varying starting point. So while subtracting everything and different companies use different earnings figure as the starting point of EBITDA. In other words, EBITDA is susceptible to the earnings accounting gain found on the income statement. Even if we account for the distortions that result from interest, taxation, depreciation, and amortization, the earning figure in EBITDA is still unreliable. I think EBITDA is a distraction in your reading completely because I'm so getting paranoid with my pronunciation because now it really sounds Japanese. Hi, Ethan. I'll try to ignore it and try my best to think of it as EBITDA. So, finally, obscures company value. Worst of all, EBITDA can make a company look less expensive than it really is. When analysts look at stock price multiples of EBITDA rather than at bottom line earning, they produce lower multiples. Oh, so this can make company look less expensive. Consider the historical example of wireless telecom operator Sprint Nextel. On April 1st, 2006, the stock was trading at 7.3 times its forecast EBITDA. That might sound like a low multiple, but it doesn't mean that the company is a bargain. As a multiple of forecast operating profits, Sprint traded at a much higher 20 times. The company traded at 40 times its estimated net income. Also, EBITDA. Oh shit, how'd you know I didn't understand it? Basic. 나 이거 이해 못했거든. I was like, wait, so what does this mean? Oh shoot. Saying it makes stock worth it at that price, but it really isn't. Stop reading my reaction. Go away. I need a mask. Business can play crazy games with depreciation. So with EBITDA, oh my god, now it sounds so Korean. Okay, I need to stop. Okay, but with this, I could make my investors think that stock is worth much higher or much lower. Because do you want your stock price to be lower? Much higher. To increase. That's a fraud. But it's somewhat legitimate because it's EBITDA number. EBITDA number. Okay, I need to stop. Focus, Henry. This is why there is gap. Oh, so like investors look at it and be like, oh, this stock should be higher price. So it'll go up. Oh, so they make it seem like it's undervalued, so then people buy it. It's legal because they're not lying. This is a legitimate number that they're showing, but it's not incorporating other things. Guys, that's all for EBITDA today. I hope you guys enjoyed learning about EBITDA. It is a certain quick ending, but I have a meeting in 2 minutes, so I have to rush out. But in conclusion, guys, let's just read quickly the conclusion. I shouldn't have done EBITDA. EBITDA is really fun. Hey guys, give me a second. 잠깐만. They don't even have a conclusion. So Jinri's definition of EBITDA is that, first of all, the pronunciation is really hard. I'm sorry if I've been pronouncing it wrong, but guys, really should not judge a company by EBITDA. You know, using kind of that phrase of, you know, never judge a book by its cover. It's like, never judge a company by EBITDA, guys, or else you're gonna get red flagged and you can't do anything with it, because this is like a legitimate way of determining, like it's been done in the past, like 1980s. Is that what they say? But it just seems that I just don't see why people are still using this and not looking at other material. But I'm sure there's very limited times EBITDA can be used, but it should generally not be relied heavily upon. Yeah, but it would be interesting to see where this methodology or this way of, you know, financial performance can be useful, because for now I just feel like, why would people use this? If you can read cash flow statements or the balance sheet, use that rather than this. But yeah, I guess we found out a good way of preventing investing in a company that shows only this number. That's what I learned today. So if they are starting to be like, hey, we're at this value because of this measurement, then I'll be like, okay, this company, I don't trust you anymore. So that's something I'll look into. That's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry I had to abruptly end, but thanks guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow me on my Discord and other things. I have a meeting because I have to figure out how to get funded. So if you guys want to fund me for my DSLR, feel free. I'm $300 behind. $40.41. Tomorrow is short stream. I'm going to be talking about top 10 workplace trends, which I think will be interesting because it's 2020. I'm going to read the article and then talk about your working trend and your working life. We're not going to have stream April 1st because I'm playing golf. Instead, there will be a vlog, but Saturday there will be K-popping at Korea University. We're going to start that again, so I hope you guys come and enjoy. watch me tour around Korea University and then start doing our dances. Next week we'll be at Kyunghee University with other person, so yeah, $459.59 left, Jetty. I bet it's April Fool's joke. True. I'll think about it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. See you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna quickly end because I'm late.